Hi guys, this is A Korean Girl Eats, also known as Diane, and I'm not really sure if you're following along with the program, but I got dropped. I got dropped because of fried chicken challenge.
Basically, what happened was I took way too long cutting it and segmenting the pieces, and so the oil, it actually ended up getting way too hot, and the cooking time got shorter and shorter, so like when I actually went to fry it, the outside got really burnt and the inside ended up being pretty raw. So when the judges went to go cut it, it ended up being red inside and they said it was inedible, so I got cut from the program.
But actually, after like they told me to leave the program and 앞치마를 벗고 마스터셰프 kitchen에서 나가세요, like leave your apron and leave the Masterchef kitchen, I was like okay with it. I kind of felt like, it could be my time to go. I had a really great experience there. I learned so much. I had a bunch of cooking classes. I met so many great people and formed really great friendships there. And I struggled a lot with a lot of things, but at the end of the day, I feel like I learned and gained so much from the program. It was such a great experience to add into my life, and it was really of tremendous value to me. So at the end of the day, I didn't really feel that upset about getting dropped. My only thing that I was a little bit upset about was that I ended up getting dropped at top 12, and I really just wanted to get into the top 10. A lot of people, when they feel like these kind of opportunities are gone from their lives, like I know some people in the program that when they got dropped, they were just so upset because they put so much weight on the program. Instead of just viewing the program as a fun experience, they kind of were like, oh my god, this is going to change my life. And the people that went into the program with that mentality ended up kind of being much more devastated from it than people like me that just really went in thinking like this is going to be a really cool experience. Even though this opportunity, I couldn't like take it much further and I was dropped a little bit earlier than I had wanted to, I really feel like circumstances happened the way they do because it was meant to happen that way. I don't think anything is a coincidence. I feel like I was probably meant to be dropped at that point so I could come back to America and I could pursue my job in New York. Especially if I advanced really far into the competition, my life could have gone a completely different direction, and to be honest, that's completely fine too. That's just the way that life would have directed me. But the fact that I did get dropped from the program and that life is directing me to New York now to work, I'm pretty excited about that too, and I don't think that one is better than the other. I have to say, while I was filming MasterChef, it was probably some of the most stressful cooking experiences of my life.
Basically, if you can only imagine, it's cooking in an unfamiliar environment with equipment you don't know and ingredients that you don't know where they are and what they are, and an oven that doesn't work, and basically 20 plus cameras constantly on you, and people interviewing you, asking you while you're cooking all the time, like, what are you making? What are you going to be making? What are you doing now? And when are you going to play? And like always talking to you while you're trying to cook, and it's just a high stress situation that is just like, oh my gosh.
And even like the ingredients that are given, so one of the challenges was a shrimp challenge, and anyone can just think of like anything to cook, like, oh, I could be like, oh, I want to make shrimp tempura, but you have to think about the people that are going to be eating that food, like the judges, they're chefs, right? So if you have a really great fresh shrimp ingredient given to you and you make a shrimp tempura out of it, they're not going to be very happy with that because it's fried and basically you made a really great ingredient cheap. You cheapened it. So like when you think about stuff like that, even the thing that you're going to cook is just like so challenging because literally after they announce the ingredient, you have like no time to think about what you're going to be cooking, and then they send you into the kitchen and you're rushing and you're like, oh my gosh, what do I make? Like in this unfamiliar pantry with ingredients that I don't know where they are and like what they are, and like pots and pans like that I'm not familiar with using, and it was just literally like craziness. I think at the beginning of the competition I was much more high-strung about it, but then a little bit later I kind of started getting a little bit more relaxed and tried to get into a mindset of let's just have fun with this, let's just really take that philosophy of this is the life experience and this is for fun and really try to live it, because when I was in it, I was not really having fun. I was just like, oh my god, this is so scary. Oh my gosh, like this is going to be on TV forever and I'm gonna make a fool out of myself. Also, I realized that editing is a very, very scary thing. They can make people that did absolutely terrible look decent. And also, I'm so mad. I do say oh my god a lot, but they made me seem like I say oh my god like every other second, and that's not true. Well, you know, maybe when I was cooking I was, but I don't remember that well. Basically, when I was cooking, all I recall of that competition is me staring at my finished dish and going up and watching them eat it, because the cooking aspect, it's literally like a blackout. It was so hectic and like crazy. So actually, a lot of my friends are like, how do I see the show? How do I see the show? I hesitate to let them know where you could see the show because I actually cringe while I'm watching the show.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe I did that. I can't believe I said that. Stop watching it, please.
Overall, it was a very, very cool experience and I had a lot of fun with it, looking back on it retrospectively, as opposed to how I felt while I was in it. And I don't think I would ever do it again. I don't think that these kind of survival programs are for me, and especially like in that kind of competitive environment where you only have a very limited amount of time to cook and not a lot of time to think about what you're going to be cooking. I don't think it's really for me.
The audition with 100 people where they decide if they advance to the next round, that was a little bit better for me because I did have a lot more time to actually think about what I was going to be making and have more of like a interesting idea behind the dish and actually practice it a few times. But yeah, that was probably more fun for me.
If you guys have any questions at all about my experience or things, anything related to anything about the show or even me, just write them below and I'll try to get back to you guys as soon as I can. So thanks so much for watching, guys. I'll see you next time. Bye.